Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing a warning by the U.S. Embassy regarding travel problems arising from COVID. So a recent tweet from ACS Bangkok, that's at ACSBKK, I'm going to go ahead and throw this up there on the screen. And quoting, "Alert, be prepared. You may unexpectedly test positive for COVID-19 while overseas and be unable to fly home as planned. Before you travel, have medical travel insurance that covers you overseas and a financial plan if you or your family have to extend your trip abroad." Now, what they're talking about here, and I really do appreciate the embassy bringing this up because American expats and tourists and people that are just traveling out here, they may not really be fully aware of the ramifications of this. But long story short, within the past, I think it actually came into effect January 26th, but I could be wrong on that. It's in effect now. There is a restriction on anyone coming to the United States if they test positive for COVID. You know, you now have to get a COVID test, much like you do to come to Thailand. You have to get a COVID test within 72 hours of departure from the U.S., and testing positive will negate one's ability to travel back to the United States. So, not to get into the legalities of that, although I do have my own thoughts, especially with respect to the specific clause in the U.S. Constitution regarding the right to travel, but not getting into that, and that's not the purpose of this video. And I don't want to really bring that up. Well, I've already brought it up, I get it, but I'm not really bringing that. I bring it up because I know there's going to be a bunch of people in the comments that are going to bring it up, so I am bringing it up. That's not the purpose of this video. And I do appreciate the U.S. Embassy for pointing this out because this has practical implications. We can get into debates on the constitutionality or the legality of the restriction, but long story short, the restriction is there for now, and as a practical matter, if you test positive for COVID, you're not going to be able to board a plane. And they're requiring a COVID test for everyone going to the United States. So Americans who are abroad, or they're thinking of traveling to, for example, Thailand, be aware of this return restriction, and travel insurance is probably a pretty good idea because failure to heed this and keep this in mind could result in a situation where you sort of effectively get stuck abroad, and then you got to deal with being in COVID quarantine overseas and having to deal with all that before being able to return to the United States.